discussion.
Thank you, Sergei. Thank you, Bernard and Thomas. First, from this House, the report is going to be voted in AFET next week. We agreed on a text, myself and the shadows. It's a tough text because we have to reflect what happened in the last couple of years. This is a report on 19 and 20 years. Of course, we are mentioning the hopes we have in the new rhetoric or new narrative, but as you could imagine, if we all depict what has been happening in Turkey for the last couple of years, the report is reflect, especially focus on human rights and rule of law issues, and of course we are touching any other aspect of our relation. In Turkey, I think Bernard did a clear depicting. I tried to use the privilege that Bernard used to take it out my mask. No, you are allowed, I think, Sergei.
Solidarity with rapporteur.
No, not at all. Well, in Turkey, I think Bernard did a very good depiction of what is happening. The real question is, what is the reliability, the sincerity of the new rhetoric? Because what we ask from the Parliament, and I think the Commission is the same, we ask it for facts. We don't want, I said, we don't want love letters. We want facts. And we want facts related to the cases, for example, you have in the European Court of Human Rights, facts on the university, facts on the HDP trying to be forbidden, facts, the reversion of the withdrawal of the Istanbul Convention. Now we have known that there are 10 new attempts to lift the immunity of 10 relevant members of the Parliament. One of them is the leader of the mayor of the opposition, Mr. Kılıçdaroğlu. There are, if we want to be polite, let's say there are mixed signals. But we have to assess what is the sincerity behind this change of rhetoric that happened overnight when we were preparing our council in December. We have to push for facts, not only to assess, like the Commission did with the Human Rights Action Plan. I always say what I would like to read are the court rulings, because these are facts, not attempts or program or intention. And the problem we have, and I think is we didn't receive bad news lately, is the completely different approach among the European institutions. We are more keen to focus our relation with Turkey from the aspect of the human rights and rule of law. The Council is more focused, and it's natural, more in geopolitical aspects. And the Commission and the External Service are trying to balance that. We have to encounter a balance, an equilibrium among us. If not, we are sending very confusing message to the Turkish public opinion. We have to be, the Parliament, we have to be more keen to introduce geopolitical aspects, and of course the Council has to introduce the values and the human rights and rule of law agenda. And this is the point, and for that reason, I checked with Sergei. We noticed that the President of the Commission clearly stated, finally, things, names, cases in the press conference in Ankara, and this is a good signal that at least we are trying to rearrange our respective approaches to Turkey. We checked the same in a meeting with Mr. Borrell that we had, the shadow rapporteurs on Turkey, and we insisted on that to Mr. Borrell. You have to introduce the human rights and rule of law agenda in every aspect of our relation, because if not, the Parliament could appear like the only institution to standing for values, and we think this is not a good image for the European Union. Custom unions. Well, being realistic, we all know that it's the only folder in which we can advance till some extent at that very moment. The question is, the Parliament is asking in the report about some kind of democratic conditionality, even in the custom unions. Probably because the accession process is not functional to drive to reforms. And we asked that, and we are asking that in the report. The question is, How are we introducing the democratic conditionality in the debate of the customs unions? There are several theories that we have to manage. It has to be a precondition, or it has to be part of the process. I think it's more realistic to say we have to achieve things during the process, the long process of discussing the customs union. But it has to be clear from the very beginning, Mr. Brunet, Mr. Freysen, that this is part of the agenda of the discussion. If not, if things related to human rights appears 1 year after the starting of the talks, they are saying double standard, European Union, they introduce things that were not expected in that table. And for that reason, we have to be very clear on that. And I think the Parliament could support that idea. We have to introduce democratic conditionality at the same time we are developing the discussion on the customs union. But we have to be very clear from the very beginning. The end, the exit, the target at the end has to be balanced on both sides. And I think we have to be clear on that. Migration, the Parliament, despite the critical approach we have in general towards Turkey, we always differentiate the needs of the refugees, as was clearly stated last summer when we approved, without a major discussion, to allocate more money for the needs of the refugees. We are in the same stance. We differentiate the money that we have to allow because the problem is still there. There are 3.5 million persons there, and we know that we have to continue supporting. But we have to be aware that part of the agenda of the Turkish authorities is, but you send the money and we manage the money. And I'm not sure if the Parliament is going to be so keen if we know that at the end this is a transfer of money, not a spending money in Turkey. And this is a thing you have to be aware, not to have some surprises here in the Parliament. And I think we are. I'm finishing, Sergei. There is a crack in the wall of the lack of trust. At least we open a little bit and a space and a window of opportunity to try to advance. Let's use this opportunity. Don't show more differences among the institutions. We have to be clear on that, and we have to offer Turkey and the international community an image of unity and a strong endorsing of our values agenda. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this instructive and passionate statement.